Peace and positive. This is Amelia A. Otall, aka Emily MC, author of Y'all Not Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind. And today's topic is on the art of noticing, reading the room, and being aware of your surroundings for general safety, improved quality of life, and better mental health. Now, before we get into some clips from the global community, we're looking at how awareness through the basic senses of sight, hearing, smell, touch, and feel advance to greater senses like energetic consciousness, emotional intelligence, active listening, and reading between the lines to keep us out of harm's way and also improve daily life. How being disconnected can stem from not feeling noticed, seen, understood, or remembered, and how being disengaged can mean you're simply not as connected, alive, or present with the true energy and rhythms of life as you could be. To that point, we're also touching on the era of distraction, just enough for real talk though, but not too much because we're trying to stay positive and constructive over here, feel me? And where our natural senses and cognitive skills have been separated by the worldly world, distracting influences, or our own set-in beliefs and behaviors. Now, in the Day 10 video, we discussed Dr. Tasha Eurich's 2018 study that revealed, quote, although approximately 95% of American people think they're self-aware, only 10 to 15% actually are. That is a huge gap that I will never get over. Now, even though self-awareness seems to be at an all-time low, what about the awareness that's more external, communal, and environmental? Now, I know a lot more people have been saying, oh, I'm too aware to truly live these days. And I get it. I totally get it. We haven't had a decade without a desensitizing mass trauma in a while. We're in the thick of 24-hour news cycles. And that new crack that hit the streets in the 2000s is still doing its 4-generation ripple effect. I'm talking about social media. Sometimes even just hearing the word awareness, even when it's a good cause, a positive cause, even when it's noble or communal, can feel exhausting, which is a perplexing feeling in itself. Are we callous and have no heart for things anymore? Or are we just truly overstimulated and have a right to check out? Now, today we're looking a little deeper at this right to check out and where we might want to be a little wiser about that. Now, disclaimer, I acknowledge that some people experience negative consequences of checking out less than others. Some people are able to move through life largely unaware of other people, places, things, cultures, and ways of life, whether because of social safety nets, financial health, or other structural differences in life, and that is a separate issue. Now, we will be calling out some of the ways some of us have fine-tuned our environmental awareness. However, it's also vital to acknowledge that except for those who've trained to be detail-oriented, a lot of hypervigilance comes from surviving trauma. Now, this requires a healthy balance and regulation so one does not lose their mind. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? Anyway, so the art and necessity of noticing. Now, I'll be honest that I don't know exactly why, but I was called to make this topic its own thing in this series, especially because we've been in this so-called era of distraction like never before. And as you segment people into groups based on geography, class, background, gender, age, religion, whatever, the dynamics and degrees of distraction can just get worse. But even in general, there's been this growing feeling that people aren't really looking at things, listening to things, experiencing life in a real way, nor remembering or treasuring special nouns. Now, we briefed this a bit in Day 14's video, Is Everything Replaceable? On disposability culture. Well, that feeling has effects on more than just a few people, because in 2018, health insurer Cigna surveyed 20,000 Americans and found that 47% of respondents reported feeling, quote, forgotten. End quote. On a brighter side, and back to our basic senses, this is also about the part of being human that's the art of being human. Bars. This is like those viral tweets about how God exists because oranges come pre-sliced, or the question, have you ever really looked at a lettuce leaf? Have you? Okay. Or how some babies are just fascinated by trees, like just the trees themselves, who, if you think about it, are some of our oldest living witnesses on earth. This is about our being drawn to things, and not just in nature, but the particular order, style, behavior, just the nouns of our world. Also acknowledging that whether or not you're aware of your surroundings, they have energetic properties to them which impact or affect you in some way. The land you live on, the buildings which surround you, the way people speak to each other around you, the way food is experienced, the way a party is enjoyed, the way a room is set up. All these things tie to our subjective mental health and the objective public health of the collective conscious. There's also the ever important point of self-protection and not letting yourself be an easy target for hurt, harm, or manipulation. Now, I too could use more slowing down and more making room for curiosity, but I will say I've gotten better at more mental hygiene. See the day 17 video for more on that. And I've gotten really good at something called invisible observation, where you actively notice things that are not meant to be noticed, like buildings or surveillance cameras. Now, Rob Walker of the School of Visual Arts Master's Program discussed this more in, quote, The Art of Noticing 2020. However, this is especially poignant in places like New York City, which, according to Amnesty International, utilizes a network of anywhere from 15,000 to 80,000 surveillance cameras. 80,000 in just the 5 boroughs. So even if you're not noticing your surroundings, they're noticing you, okay? Message. Well, look, I don't know. Yo, call me crazy. Call me whatever you want. This might be from me being a political science and a pre-law student, or from being a girl, being a woman, and just knowing other women who've been and boys and men too. And this might be from me being a trauma survivor. This might be from me living with strangers as roommates and then living on my own. This might be from me growing up in New York City, where as children we're traveling by ourselves on public transportation, where most people walk regularly everywhere, where we're taught to look and listen everywhere we go, where being unintentionally separated from who you came with can happen very easily, where buddy systems and head counts have more of a tinge of tension to them, more real consequences to them, because people do go missing. This might be from all the close calls of my intuition guiding me out of several near-death experiences, or away from people who go on to have like grave misfortunes or harm other people. I don't know. But I know that there is something important here. I know this has saved my life. It's helped me dodge some very bad situations and helped me get through situations which could have trapped me. Now, Zach Mercurio, PhD, wrote in his 2019 Medium article titled The Art and Science of Noticing Others, How to Become Better at Making People Feel Seen, that, quote, the art of noticing is a trainable cognitive skill that counteracts, quote, perceptual inertia caused by technological distraction and boosts creativity, empathy, and mental well-being. Studies show that consciously directing attention to overlooked details improves problem solving and reduces the 43% feeling of invisibility in workplaces, end quote. Today, we explore how people in, around, and out of the culture build this skill set. Well, before we hit the dance floor, friendly reminder that if you or someone you know needs support in an actively harmful situation or post-traumatic experience, or just feeling off or a little sad, just please contact a trusted resource and or see my list of mental health resources, which are now in the description box of all long-form episodes of this entire series and will always remain on my book website and in the back of my physical book and the ebook. But let me say, as a point of principle and with respect to free will and public safety, what's important to you is important. And listen to me. Hey, listen. Your life matters. Capiche? Capiche. Let's get it. All right. If you're following along with my original book, this is the day 19 quote from pages 20 to 21. And based on today's topic, here is prompt number 20. Thank you all for your support of Y'all Not Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind. And without further ado, let's roll the clips and hear from the global community about the art of noticing and importance of being aware of your surroundings for better health, safety, and wellness. Peace.
I've learned so much from watching Biz, bro, and Biz was always somebody who he did his homework in every region, and that rubbed off on me.
Okay.
Biz would hit New Orleans and call you, hey, I need the songs. Y'all know what I need. He was like, I don't need, just give me the ones that count. And
yeah,
sometimes,
but Manny, I gotta take it back. You wasn't doing New Orleans at the Nas party.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean New York. You was doing you at the Nas party.
Yeah. But a little bit of that is Jeff them.
You wasn't catering to like my whole mentality would be to cater. That means I'm throwing on Biggie, Nas, Wu. So I'm throwing on this. You didn't do that.
Yeah, but it's doing your homework and knowing your ear, because one of the cool things that Biz did was he had I watch the room and I play for the room. So if it's like, if I'm down south, I'm playing down south records. And then sometimes he broke the rules because you could feel the energy when they want you to break the rules. You know what I'm saying?
It is a real art in noticing the details of things. It is a heavy responsibility to notice when somebody's facial expressions change. And when I say facial expressions, I mean micro expressions. They're darting their eyes quicker, they're looking down, their tone changes, their inflection changes, the way that a group changes when somebody specific walks in, the way that a topic changes when something gets uncomfortable, when somebody feels left out, but they won't say it, but you feel it. There is an art in noticing those details. It is something that can be so heavy and something that can be such a burden to carry, knowing all the social rules that are all happening at once and trying to delegate or pay attention to that vibe and manipulate the vibe when it is not good for the greater good of that group. It is so hard to keep that balance because it is an art to it. And I used to think that everybody did it, but everybody does not know how to read a room. It is a very much a skill to notice the details. And for somebody who just gets it, I see you and I feel you, and it is a lot for us to carry, but it is so important that we're there. Because if it wasn't somebody to mitigate those details and to manipulate those little details, the world would be in complete chaos. Because people just don't understand how big the little details can get.
Reading the room, it's so rare that it should be incentivized. You can pay me to walk around with you. If you're a person who can't read the room, you can pay me to walk around with you into rooms from 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 7 to 3. And if the room is talking, and then you walk in and like you crack a joke and they get quiet and no one says anything, I will be there to go, they don't fuck with you. Sorry, everybody. He or she doesn't really understand. And they're going to go, thank you so much. Get them out of here. Certain videos and posts on social media, some are debatable. Some are debatable, but some are meant for people who agree with the video. If you can't tell that and you go into the comment section and you go against the grain, the video wasn't for you. The video wasn't for you. But what happens is you think because it came across your For You page that it was. No. Sometimes little things sneak in there, but they're not. Here's the example. I listen to rap music. If another genre of music, country, rock, reggae, alternative, blues, jazz, sneaks into my For You page because my For You page knows I listen to music, this is music, it's just not the music you listen to. If it's country, and I see it and I'm like, oh, this is stupid. I would never listen to this. It wasn't for me. Do we get that? That wasn't for me. You don't have to comment. You can, but you don't have to. Read the room.
He sleep? Oh, he playing sleep. He want me to go. It's more that time. I know when I overstay my welcome. I know when I overstay my welcome. Just play my outro.
I'm finna play another song. Oh, you finna?
Yeah, let me play my outro chat. I
thought we was having a
Oh no, he want me to go.
That's funny.
Huh? Yeah. He act like he sleep. He want me to go. You gotta know how to read the room. Shaniqua, you know who Shaniqua is? That's my mother. My mother told me it's good to know how to read the room. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to read the room.
You ever pay attention to people's hands? I know that's a crazy way to start a video, but hear me out. Now, people's hands and their faces are going to give you so much information.
So there's the front door. There's people everywhere. This video's not doing it justice. Trust me, there are a couple hundred people in here. If a bad guy came in that front door and started doing you know what, pow pow, that's a problem, right? You can't run in there. It's a dead end. People crowded. People are going to be screaming and going crazy. What do we have over there? That's right. The back door. That sign says not an exit. bet it is. And in a dire emergency, we've got to be able to think outside the box. Again, we're not going to be paranoid, and we're not going to be weird, and we're not going to overthink it. So if all these people are screaming and running in circles and trying to get out the front door, that's not going to happen. So we have got to be self-aware and calm. There's one option. There's a second option. Get it? Again, a little weird making a video of yourself in a store. But look, it's a lot of people. Something jumps off. It's going to be bad, and it's going to be bad quick. Think condition yellow, not condition white, not condition black, condition yellow, until we have to go to orange. And then if we're in orange, by God, we're moving.
I just had to get it off my chest. I need people to do better. I need people to start reading the room, read the car, read the situation. I don't care what it is. What's the saying go, y'all? Out of sight, out of mind.
Let me put you on to the art of noticing. What is it? Let me explain. The art of noticing in the context of any friendship or relationship is when you take time to observe what a person is saying or doing, and you simply relay it back to them or share your observation of them. And this may seem silly or even stupid to some of you, but the art of noticing goes a long way in just building a connection with the other person. And it's these little kind of gestures over time that I would say build trust and really allow you to grow in your friendship and relationship with this other person. And it's also a great way to kind of pull or just help someone continue to be vulnerable, to continue to share how they're feeling. And that in and of itself helps grow any friendship or relationship as well.
Everything people do is a sign. So if they're showing up late at meetings or they're not returning your phone calls, it's not some innocent event. It means something. It's coming from some place within them. They're telling you something about themselves indirectly. If their desk is a mess, right, they can't organize their desk, it's a sign of something else going on inside them, right? If they're not returning your phone calls, on and on and on. Every little thing that people do. Sometimes when I read an email, I can sense that there's a little bit of anger as an undertone. You can sense people's tone, not just in what they say, but in how they write something, right? There's not this usual kind of polite tone. There's a little bit of a sharpness. There's a word or two that indicates that they're upset, they're angry. Every little thing that people do is a sign. You're not paranoid because it's actually a lot of fun, and you're decoding what's going on because people wear masks. They smile and they say, I love your ideas, Cody, you're brilliant, you're wonderful, but inside they're thinking something else. And you have to be able to pick up all of these signs.
Let's talk about situational awareness, because it's not just looking around. Because it's not. It's how you read patterns in real time. And most people cannot read patterns at all. So let's talk about it. Pattern disruption. This is when something does not match what you're expecting. Whether it's a shift in someone's tone when they're talking to you, or when there is just this pause or this stillness, it just feels off. When the energy doesn't match the environment, something's not aligning in the space. That, most people don't recognize it. So if you are one of the few, it's good to see you. Let me bring it back a little bit because I like to talk about metacognition. It's a type of awareness. This is your ability to observe your thoughts, your nervous system, even your behaviors. And you can step back and observe your internal, external, spiritual, communication, organization. And you can observe what you're thinking, seeing, feeling, all in the moment with that. And when you can put it all together and you can recognize the environment and who's in the environment, that's situational awareness.
I wanted to ask Tim a question. Okay, so Tim, I do want to ask you, what does...
This water been open.
No, it hasn't.
Lil, throw me one.
No, it's new water.
It's cool. I just don't play about stuff like that. Think somebody's trying to get at me.
Now,
how paranoid I am. You gotta understand, nigga. When this motherfucker in this jailhouse, it get quiet.
nigga, it's a problem. I'm going to the room, grab my knife. I don't know what the fuck going on. And guess what? So shit stink. Here come your people. Man, look, the white boys done got into it with the Crips and they finna whoop. Boy, I know it. You ain't got to tell me. It's quiet, nigga.
So that's the rule.
So guess what? That's how I feel. And people don't understand that about me. They don't understand that I peep shit before it even happened, before I see it, because it's quiet. I come from a world where I had to survive. My life is on the line, bro.
Everybody be about bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, say, okay, somebody like older than you, right? They gonna feel like I ain't finna give you all the game, because if I give you all the game, you ain't gonna need me no more. And shit like that. Or somebody come in and try to, trying to help you, but I don't know. But it's like, I be peeping, like, I be reading between the lines and shit. That shit be bored, man. So it be like, man, I'm just learning from some people's mistakes, or just go through it on my own and just.
This video is just more so for like women awareness. Like, let's just be aware of our surroundings, because there's creeps everywhere. And I've been living in LA my entire life, and it does not matter if you're in your own hometown, there's creeps everywhere. And this is broad daylight.
Gotta be able to read people like, yo, is this person gonna be toxic to my life? Is this person gonna be fake? Are they gonna do me wrong, stab me in the back, take advantage of me, whatever? Or are they gonna be a good friend, a good homie, a good whatever the fuck, whoever the fuck that person may be to you? You can't just shun everybody and cut everybody off. You miss opportunities like that, and you miss chances to establish friendships and even excel in life. You never know who knows who when you run into people. Like, you never know. Some people are cool to keep in your life but at a distance. Some people are cool to keep close, and some people are cool to not even see them.
The art of noticing will change your life. I'm gonna repeat that. The art of noticing will literally change your life. It'll change your joy. It'll change your mindset. It'll change your positivity. It'll change your brain chemistry. Because when you take a moment to notice life, to notice the trees, to notice the grass, to notice your morning breakfast, your morning coffee, to notice the fire, to notice all the changes in the weather. When you take a moment, a second, to notice the little things, the pockets of joy, the little pieces of gratitude that are so small but end up being so big in your life, you will feel so much presence and so much joy and so much peace that nothing can stop you, that nothing can get in the way of how you feel. Try it and let me know how it goes.
The people who walk past me as I'm scribbling in my sketchbook think that I'm drawing, but I'm not. I'm doing something that people don't teach anymore. It's spring right now, and the back streets are packed with blossom trees. Catching people's eyes as they turn the corner and watching them notice the blossom is wonderful. They smile and take a quick photo, and I think most of us would do the same as a first instinct, especially compared to drawing. It's simply way more convenient, time effective, and frankly requires less skill to capture any form of likeness. We all take photos to share, for memories to look back on when we're not rushing about. But the ease of image capture has got people in a bit of a muddle. Because really, our first instinct when something beautiful catches our eye should not be to capture it at all. We've all seen people at concerts who spend the majority of time watching it through a screen, and as much as it frustrates me, I totally sympathise. We have all been tricked. So, what am I doing if I'm not primarily drawing? Down the road, there is an art school here named after John Ruskin. He wrote that he teaches drawing so that people learn to really see, not so that they have nice drawings. The drawing is just the tool that I use to keep looking. And that might sound a little misleading as I'm still making marks, but I think ever since artists started sharing sketchbooks on social media, we all started to think that the act of drawing is about production, but it's not. It's about attention, the most valuable thing that people can harvest from us. You might say, oh, come on, Sam. Whatever you're doing is still sat down making images and I just don't have time for that. I got places to be and things to do. But actually, all I'm doing is looking. And if you spend even 5 minutes a day on social media, you are doing the exact same thing as me. You are already spending that time looking. And I'm no saint, I suffer just like you do. I've been tricked to staring at my phone till 4 a.m. in a barrage of reels and TikToks, this loose promise of connection getting hijacked. But trying to better understand the world and feeling connected are things we all genuinely need. The question is whether you're looking in a way that feeds you or empties you.
I'll be the one to say it. Don't phones be having y'all in a trance. In a straight trance. Like, you could be in a room full of people and see conversations happening and everybody's just, the phone just down, like in their phones. Like, there's no eye contact. Like, there's no eye contact. Like, in the phone, like, there's no eye contact. I don't know, just test it out. You talking to somebody in their phone, just stop mid-conversation, see if they look up. See if they look up. Just stop talking. See if they look up. Just in a trance. In a trance. I'm just saying. That's it. Bring old conversations back.
I see these people, right? And I don't know if it's me or if I'm just having a bad day or whatever it is, or I'm sick or whatever. But I see these people and they got their faces so far in their freaking phones that they can't even look up to see where they're going. They're bumping into people and then don't even say, excuse me. Are you freaking for real? Yo, where did your manners go? Well, where did all that shit go? You can't even say, hey, I'm sorry, excuse me. You know, I got my head and my phone both up my ass, so I didn't see it. I mean, seriously? Like, come on, man. Look up. Do what you're doing. I mean, I just seen this lady or a guy walk into a senior citizen because he's so busy looking in his phone, and then he looks up at her and just keeps on going. Like it's her fault. I don't know, man. I don't even know what this world's coming to anymore.
Did you practice your 5 habits of situational awareness today? Did you? I hope so. And I want to bring them back up just one more time for a reason. Not because they sound good, not because they're trendy, but because the 5 habits are the foundation of what's to come and the foundation of being safe out here. Before you can even advance into other concepts, before you can really understand threat recognition, before you can make better decisions under stress, these habits have to be natural to you. They have to be on your day-to-day. This is where it all starts. Everything else builds directly off of this. The first one, obviously, we identify our exits, right? We've already talked about this, but this is bigger than just knowing where the doors are. This is about immediately understanding your options. The moment you walk into any place that you go, you should already be asking yourself, how do I get out if I need to? How do you get out? Where are my alternative ways out? What happens if the main entrance is blocked? That habit matters because emergencies don't give explanations. We know this. And when people panic, they freeze, they hesitate, they wind up following the crowd. If you already know where to go, you're not starting from behind, you're thinking way ahead of everybody. The second one is get that damn head out your phone. Keep your head on a swivel, like many other people have commented before. Keep coming back to this one because it's one of the ones that is killing people's situational awareness. Your face being buried into that phone, the world is just a big distraction. You're not reading the room, you're not seeing people, you're not noticing changes, you're not catching movements, behaviors, or problems early because you're scrolling on Instagram or on TikTok. That is exactly how people get caught off guard. Situational awareness is being present. That's it. Just be present. Head up, eyes moving, actually aware of where you are and what's happening around you. And then obviously we get into the third one, behavior, watching people's behavior. And this is where people really need to start sharpening how they observe, because behavior usually tells you more than appearance ever will. We've talked about this already. Stop focusing so much on what people look like and start paying attention to what they're doing. Who's out of place? Who keeps looking around but not engaging? Who seems overly focused on other people? Who's moving in a way that doesn't match where I'm at? We see the normals in our area. Find the abnormals. That matters because behavior often is the number one clue maker to what's going to happen. And the more we train ourselves to see the behavior, the earlier you can pick up on it to start making decisions. The fourth one, trust your instinct. This one is crucial because a lot of people sometimes they ignore this. They don't at least acknowledge it to understand why it's happening. But the feeling in your gut is often your mind picking up on those details that can't fully be explained until you dive deeper into them. The instincts matter. Now, that doesn't mean panic over everything. It doesn't mean assume the worst every time something doesn't feel right. It means respect the eternal alarm. If something feels off, slow down and pay attention. Create distance, reposition, look harder. Your instincts are part of your awareness, but they only help you if you stop ignoring them. And the fifth one is the positioning. This is one people overlook all the time. Where you place yourself truly, truly matters. Your seat matters, your angles matter, what's behind you matter, how close you are to exits matter, how exposed you are to stuff. Good positioning gives you more time, more visibility, and more options. And when situations happen, things happen in seconds. So bad positioning takes those seconds away from you. If you sit with your back to everything, if you trap yourself in bad spaces, if you move through places without thinking about where you are in relation to people and exits, you make yourself a lot more vulnerable without even realizing it. Positioning is preparation. And when you put all five of these together, identify exits, get your head out of the phone, keep it on a swivel, watch behavior, trust your instincts, and think about your positioning, you're now building the real foundation. And that's the point of all of this. These aren't random tips. These are basics that support everything else we're going to talk about. Because if you can't do these consistently, and I'm being honest, the more advanced conversations won't matter nearly as much. So don't just sit here and hear these. Practice them. Use them when you go to a restaurant. Use them as you're walking through parking lots, when you're at an event, when you're traveling. Use them every day. They don't have to take over your life, but they should be at least a part of your day-to-day life. Because situational awareness is not about being scared, like I've always stated. It's just about building habits that protect us from everyday bad situations.